You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Cops in Des Moines, Missouri are being sued by a 68-year-old black woman and her son after they were attacked at a Sam's Club in March. They were accused of stealing a television they had already purchased. Folks, this is a trigger warning. This is a stunning and shocking video. Watch this.
His head, what happened to his head? Oh, I don't know. His head is busted. If he would have just got his tail, if he would have just got up on the ground, because the man told him to get on the ground, if he would have just listened, that would not have happened. Tackling that man's mama like that? Because she took off running. All you had to do was sit still. I mean, I've heard his mouth for quite some time. But he had to slam him down. That man was fighting.
Marvia Gray and her son Derek were the victims of that attack. Joining me now is their attorney, Andrew Straub. Andrew, first and foremost, so I'm just trying to understand, how did this whole thing go down? They're being accused of stealing the television, but they already paid for it.
Yeah, Roland, it's another tragic incident caught on video. Mrs. Marvia Gray, 68 years old, African-American woman, in the store with her 43-year-old son, Derek Gray. They went and had already bought a Sony Bravia 65-inch flat screen TV. They had left the store because they didn't have room in their SUV to take home the television. Derek came back to the store, and an officer was, following him around and thought Derek stole the TV. The officer at some point calls for backup. And the next thing you know, without cause or provocation, you see what you just watched on the video, which is the officers from the Des Moines Police Department brutally attacking Mrs. Gray and Derek Gray.
So at any point, did the officers say, do you have the receipt for this television? Did they say to any of the store personnel, what's going on here?
Well, in fact, not the store personnel told them that they had paid for the TV. So those officers came in on 10, and it was definitely a racial profiling incident. And both Mrs. Gray and Derek sustained major injuries. And what we did on Monday is we filed a lawsuit in court on Monday, a 7-count lawsuit against the city of Des Moines and the officers who brutally attacked the Grays. We thank God that there was a citizen bystander, 2 citizens, who captured that video, because without the video, people wouldn't believe what happened. And as you know, Roland, you look at Mike Brown in St. Louis, you look at what the tragedy in Brunswick, Georgia, these events are being captured on video for America to see what's really happening in our communities as it relates to the unjustified use of force by the police.
So was the officer on duty as security and then he called back up?
No, well, the officer was in the store. Not sure why he was in the store. According to the store, he wasn't working for them. So we don't really know. We just know that it was a police officer in the store, was following Derek, who bought a $1,400 TV, and then he called for backup. And again, he had the receipt, and his mom. I mean, these are middle-class folks. How can you in 2020 walk into a store, buy a TV, and then get attacked and jumped on by multiple police officers?
So again, so they bought this TV. They couldn't get it fit in their car, so he comes back. What
Yes.
that means is that the television was at the front of the store.
That's
It was
correct.
being held. So he would then the way I mean I'm a Sam's Club member, a Costco member, and so what happens is you're coming into the store where the exit is. And so you're passing your customer service. You're going. You have to ask somebody, "Hey, you're holding my television. Here's my receipt. I came to pick it up." And so I'm just trying to understand how an officer would just immediately start following him and would not listen to store personnel who said, "No, he's here to pick up a TV he's already bought."
Well, that's what happened. Tragically, that's ultimately what happened. The store informed the officer that he had purchased the TV, but those officers came in on 10, and the video speaks for itself, and that's why we had to file the lawsuit against the city and against those officers. And like I said, the video speaks for itself.
So you said they sustained major injuries. What kind of injuries?
Well, he's got he's got multiple stitches in the back of his head. Mrs. Gray has a fractured tailbone, and then both of them, and a messed up elbow. And then Derek also had at least 3 teeth wiped out. So he suffered a head injury and had to have dental surgery as well, and had multiple staples in the back of his head. And I got to tell you, his mom, Mrs. Gray, thought her son was going to go the fate of many young black men, which is being killed by the police. She was screaming on that video because she thought they were going to kill her son.
So how did this thing escalate to the point of getting taken down? I mean, if you're a cop and you think the person trying to take a television, I would think that what you would say is, "Sir, that you purchased the television. Do you have a receipt?" That's just what I'm just trying to understand. How does it escalate to this takedown and this brutal takedown?
I'm not sure. I mean, those officers came in on 10. They had suspicion of theft, but no evidence of theft. And the store told them the truth, and the officers still attacked them. So, again, I don't know why those guys in Georgia killed Ahmaud Arbery either. I don't know why that officer in St. Louis and Ferguson killed Mike Brown. I don't know why, Tamir Rice, Laquan McDonald, Freddie Gray, Walter Scott. So, I mean, I can't answer that question. I don't know.
These stores have significant numbers of cameras. Have you petitioned? Have you seen the store cameras?
We have. And the store cameras support the narrative that you see on the video that you have from the bystanders, that there was no cause and provocation, and the officers attacked both Marvia Gray, a 68-year-old woman, doesn't weigh 100 pounds, and hurt her significantly. And she already suffers from osteoporosis and sarcoidosis and some other major illnesses. Derek was in St. Louis to take care of his ailing mom. He lives in Virginia. He went to take care of her. He went to go buy her a TV because she also has glaucoma. And again, they go to the store, come back, and get brutally attacked by the police, and their lives are changed forever. And what we want to do is shine a light on these types of attacks to make sure they don't continue to happen in our communities and with people of color.
Wow, Attorney Andrew Schaaf, we certainly appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Folks, our panel today, Dr. Greg Carr, Chair, Department of Afro-American Studies, Howard University, Amisha Cross, Political Analyst and Democratic Strategist, Joseph Williams, Senior Editor, U.S. News and World Report. Greg, this is just crazy. I mean, to see this, I mean, there's a protocol. It's real basic. If you're a cop and you're not actually working the store and you haven't been called by Sam's Club saying this man is stealing something, it's very simple. If you have, first of all, we need to establish what was your cause of suspicion.
Well, the cause of suspicion, there was no cause of suspicion. The crime was being black. All we have to do is look at the fact of while that video was being taken, the workers at the checkout continued to scan items. You see one of the white checkout guys continuing to scan some plants or something and put them in the basket. It was very clear before we heard Attorney Straub explain that they had purchased it, that they were at the front of the store, because you could see people continuing with business as usual. The crime was blackness. This is very important to understand. When Mrs. Gray, when Marvia Gray said later, quote, "This is the way Derek is going to go." In other words, this is the way he's going to die. What she is acknowledging is the reality that we seem to not want to finally just confront and name. And that is that there is no such thing as black humanity in this racist settler state when it comes to law enforcement. See, these paddle rollers don't see human beings. That's why we have to seek the rule of law, because the lawsuit is an attempt to confront the field of violence that we live in. The field of violence that we live in says that there is no such thing as a black human being. So at any time, law enforcement can approach a black person as if they are a non-person, because we are not. The only thing I would say initially is the only alternative we have to filing lawsuits is to go beyond the law. And if we go beyond the law, or we go to a larger valence of law, like the Second Amendment, and so then we approach law enforcement from the idea that we're not going to seek redress after our lives have been harmed or taken, but seek redress as you confront us. Now the society comes apart and we're facing something very different. But we've got to stop saying things like, "I don't understand." No, as Neely Fuller said, if you don't understand white supremacy, how it works, then everything else you think you understand will only confuse you. Of course we understand.
Amisha, this is the nonsense that we, again, constantly deal with. And I just can't wait to hear what the hell these cops have to say. And again, Sam's Club, they've got enough videos. They've got videos that you'll probably see him coming from outside, coming from the parking lot, coming into the store. You'll probably be able to see this entire deal go down. You won't have the audio, but you have the video from beginning to end.
Absolutely. Like, I have never seen a case, and I've been in grocery stores and other stores where somebody was suspected of stealing something, and typically either something goes off or there's some video footage that shows that this person did something. In this case, this was extremely crazy. Hearing the mother scream as loud as she did, like, that was chilling for me. She literally felt as though her son was about to die and it was going to happen in front of her very eyes. The way that he was thrown to the ground, the thrashing he took, the head beating he had, obvious blood and everything else was happening. And as Dr. Carr spoke of, business as usual was going on around them. There's so much that went wrong in this case, from the very onset of why he was suspected of a crime to begin with, but also after people within the store tell you that he actually purchased said TV, and you continue to treat him as though he's a criminal and get extremely aggressive. Hell, even if he had stolen the TV, all of what we saw happen in that video was totally outside of the realm of what police should do to maintain any type of order. I think that, we have reached a pitch point in this country where officers are basically throwing all caution to the wind and brutalizing black people for the sake of brutalizing black people. There is no real answer to why he did it. And I think that, if we're trying to search for one, we'll be searching forever, because across the country, we've watched this type of abuse happen to black men specifically for generations now.
Joseph.
Well, I mean, clearly there's really not much more that can be said. What I'm kind of curious about, and to Greg's point, there were many people that were just walking by. I mean, we saw a couple of shoppers go on about their business. There were people ringing things up. There were only a few people, and they were mostly black people, who stopped and said, "Hey, what's going on? Let him go, let her go." And what also kind of frustrates me, because watching this video, my jaws are getting kind of tight. Nobody from Sam's Club came over and said, "Hey, chill out. This is not a problem." No one intervened, and it all went down horribly wrong in many ways that we've seen before. What also troubles me about this whole situation is this is the only one we know about, right? We happen to know about it because it got caught on video. If it hadn't been caught on video, we would not have seen it. I mean, it's everywhere. It's pernicious. It's something that is so incredibly frustrating, especially coming literally a stone's throw from Ferguson, where the eyes of the nation were focused on a situation that had a lot of hallmarks to this one. So I'm just kind of wondering, when enough is going to be enough. And sadly, I don't think we have the answer yet.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. This is the Ceek VR headset created by Mary Spiel, the sister. We had her on the show. Black woman. She actually is the inventor of this particular headset. And so what happens is you just simply place your phone right into here, and then of course close it up, and then go to their website and then their app, and you can actually experience the comedy showcase. And so they have these headsets, these VR headsets on their site, Ceek.com, for sale. Then also they have these 4D 360-degree headphones. First of all, I love the two stuff because they're in black and gold, my frat colors. But these are awesome because for gamers, it comes with a detachable headset, and again, folks, it gives you 360-degree sound. Amazing sound. If you want to buy these, you have a promo code you can use. This is just for our followers, and it is RMVIP2020. RMVIP2020. Put that promo code in if you want to buy the headphones, buy the VR headset. You get that discount to buy it. They're amazing. So Ceek.com, RMVIP2020. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.